Hey, fellow gamers. Today I'd like to talk about a game that has had a special place in my heart since I started playing video games way back in the day on the MMO side. And that game is Ultima Online. If you've never played Ultima Online, man, you're missing out. But it's not too late. Not too late at all. One of the better servers that I've found that I can actually really enjoy and get into is UOAlive. It is a free shard. So you just have to go to uoalive.com, play for free, get in on the Discord, ask any questions that you want. The download and the setup is super easy. It's all based on whether or not you want the advanced setup or the classic setup. I always just go all in one package right here. Just click this, it'll download it, unzip it to your C file, and then you're good to go. And then of course you'll have to log in with your username and password. You set that up when you log in, and you're rolling. Also, this does come with several different JPEGs here that you can actually take a look at, and it'll give you more information if you have any curiosity on how to actually get in and join the server. But let's just talk about the server itself. One of the best things about the server, in my opinion, obviously, is the fact that you've got skills. You still only have 720 as a hard cap, but they've allowed what they call extra skills to be raised to 100 on top of that. These extra skills are going to be, let's see here, arms lore, bow crafting and fletching, camping, cartography, detecting hidden, fishing, forensic evaluation, herding, hiding, item ID, lockpicking, lumberjacking, mining, remove trap, taste ID, and tracking. So as you can see, I've got my skills built here for my ABC Archer Tamer. But when you remove Show Real, you're looking at all the skills that I've put into the other stuff, just as I've kind of grown onto the server. So it does have a chat window here that you can access global chat by just typing in C, then you can chat with everybody. If you exit out of this, just do bam, chat history, and it'll pull it right back up. This is going to be your way you can contact everybody else out there on the server. If you have any questions or want to meet up to do a dungeon run or something like that, or just, you know, if you want to get into a guild, or just say hello because you logged in. So another cool thing is you're going to have rewards available to you. You start off with so many, and of course, as longer you play, you get more. So some of those rewards, kind of to help you out in the entry level here, is you can get some gear, very basic gear. You can get the ethereal steeds. This is what I would probably recommend going with, just because it is a clicky steed. It's blessed to you. You don't lose it when you die. There's nothing worse than having to run around on foot and trying to find another horse, that kind of stuff. This is my go-to on my first point. And of course, you can go with dye tubs, house add-ons. And of course, there's a miscellaneous tab here just for some other things. So this is UOAlive. Much like standard UO, you are going to have, you know, nothing absolutely crazy. There are some updates on items, such as, like, this is going to show you a lot more of the damage increase, energy resist. It's got a little bit larger of a, I guess, weapon set than it had in just like way classic UO, but nothing game breaking, nothing that's going to make it crazy. So, and the reason I'm making this video is I was on the Reddit just trying to get some ideas on, you know, what kind of a guild to join. And man, I saw some hate. I saw some people saying, oh man, UOAlive is bad, blah, blah, blah. And so I actually played here for a while before I even made a video, because I wanted to make sure I didn't run into any of that myself. Obviously, if that's the case, then I'd have to go look for a different shard or a different server. I have ran into nothing but probably the nicest players that I've ever run into. Everyone's extremely helpful. Everyone's very knowledgeable when it comes to, obviously everybody's played UO forever. If you're playing this, you probably have played UO before. But even if you haven't, if they've got the knowledge, they're more than willing to share it with you. And I run into zero issues with people wanting to be rude or anything like that. I haven't really ran into it at all. The few issues that I have had with like a little glitch here or there, something like that, has been resolved literally as fast as I could put the ticket in. So it seems like the team that's running it is really, really good. Other than that, just give you guys some basic gameplay here. I've got a it's called a Kusid for a pet. You're able to actually level up these pets, and as you level them, you decide what points you're going to be putting into them. Now, granted, I'm just a kind of a basic tamer archer, but the Kusid started off with, I believe, either 2 or 3 slots, and I was able to level it up all the way to 5 slots. By doing so, I was able to increase the hit point regeneration, mana regeneration, and add different moves to it to allow it to be kind of fitted to the way that I wanted to play with my game. But everyone always wants to see, is there any population? Right now it's about 2 a.m. Central Time, and this is the Britain Bank. I am not going to blow smoke. There is a lot of people that just kind of hang out here, even AFK. But yeah, I mean, the population is great. Typically, you go into dungeons, you see at least 4 or 5 people. Especially if you go into like the popular ones like Destard. I don't know why, but everyone just loves killing themselves a dragon. I think my bow I have on right now is actually a dragon slaying bow. Yeah, I'm one of them. I love killing me some dragons. Let's go check out Destard real fast. Okay, so now that we're over here at Destard. Well, like I said, it is 2 a.m. I'm not 100% sure what the kind of activity is going to be like here. Like, I know on original UO, this area up here had like a drake, sometimes the possibility of a dragon. So that has changed. It seems like there's a lot of snakes right now. But the dragon type monsters are after the snakes. And again, I'm not trying to go hard in the paint here. I'm just trying to show you guys how the server kind of works, what it looks like. I mean, you're not seeing crazy damage numbers like 500s and things like that. I know that I played on another server for a while that not only was there just rampant PvP everywhere, it was crazy. Like, PvP is definitely optional here. If you want to go do that, you are able to go into, I believe it's Felucia. But that's on you. If you don't, there's no one saying, hey, you've got to do this. This is part of what we do. I do know that there are order and chaos, but I have not personally seen anyone actually utilize that faction or guild faction for PvP. So don't know how active that is, to be honest. Now, there is a slightly more effective way to do this. Apparently, if you take away archery and tactics and do musicianship and discordance and literally only work off your pet, then I've heard some really good things. Like, oh my god. So, must have been a yard sale over there. But, so yeah, a lot of people do that. And they use that discordance. Some pets you're able to train discordance on, which actually is really, really nice to be able to disco right with your pet. Then of course it frees you up to, the other skills that I actually enjoy using better, such as archery and things like that. I like the archery for the Slayer bow. Going in and just trickling the guy with a bow that is a Slayer for his species is pretty sad. So the ABC stands for archery, chivalry, and bushido. You'll notice I'm not doing much of either one of those. Really, well, my pet may die. But for the time being, at least. Get over here. Ooh. Have to revive the pet here in a second. Sorry, I was looking at the other screen trying to see what else I could kind of go over to make sure that everybody kind of got a gist of what the server was. But for the most part, if you're just looking to get on UO, have a lot of fun, make friends, you know, have a booming population, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with UOAlive. And there's a lot to it too. There's a lot of quests you can do, a lot of custom content as well. And I want to go over the Razor, the enhanced client for the Razor next. Probably do that in another video though. That one's going to be a little long. It's pretty extensive. I'm by no means a coder or whatever they call themselves to be able to write those things, but I know some tricks to get the ones that we need if you wanted to go lumberjacking and mining and things like that. The only difference is that on some servers you can do that fully automated because of the PvP element. Obviously at that point you're at high risk of being killed while you're just, you know, off taking a shower or whatever you're doing. Here, since there's no PK, especially since we're in Trammel, I would say that it's pretty fair. You know, don't get caught AFK, you know, mining or AFK, whatever. I don't think you're going to have to. You get quite a bit accomplished with just what you have. And being able to have that skill, mining and lumberjacking on any character, really means that anywhere you are, you could scroll over as long as you've got, like, I've got a whole bag of just like utility stuff that I use for treasure hunting, skinning, you know, chopping trees. Haven't done any mining yet because for some reason mining just, like, to me is the most boring thing in our game. But yeah, I mean, it's just good old UO, man. It's amazing to get back in here and start killing some dragons, some wyverns, moving some money. I mean, I don't know any other places out there that can give you this kind of customization for your character. Not only that, but you're also real estate. So, I mean, the first time you buy a house in this game, it's going to feel like you literally bought a house. Like, it's amazing. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much the gist of Death Star. Besides that weird orgy they had on the second floor, I've never seen that many mobs rush you whenever you go down the ramp. And I could definitely go over to the Rune Library and port in behind them, but that seemed like just a whole group of no, so I'm probably not going to do that. It does also have a few unique features that I'm going to go over with you real quick. We'll go ahead and move this over. I know that a lot of people might not like this feature just because it does take a little bit of the danger out of the game. But in Britain, you have what's called the Corpse Summoner. You can summon your corpse, but it is 8,000 gold. So it's not, I mean, even if you've got millions and millions and millions and millions, I guess at that point you'd be like, whatever. But for the most part, especially whenever you're getting through the point, you know, you're just not getting your gold saved up, you're trying to get a house, all that kind of stuff, 8,000 is a big hit. So it's available, but it does take a price. So you just keep that in mind. It is an awesome feature though. If you're down in a dungeon and lost your stuff, and you know, in the old game that might just mean that you don't get your stuff back without help. This at least allows you to access that and get your stuff back. And the one final thing before I let you go for video 1 is going to be one of my favorite things, and that is just click on your character and then vendor search. This is going to allow you to look up anything that you can think of that you might want on your character. So let's just say that you've got a good armor set already, but man, the rings you've been looking at have been complete trash. So we'll look at rings and search. This is all, oh my god, what is that? Why is that so? That does not seem like it needs to be 41 million. That's crazy. That's crazy. Man. I'm sitting on some rings better than these just sitting in my base. Guess I have more money than I... Oh, see, there's a legendary artifact. That one's pretty... Anyways, you may not want to start at the crippling depression prices. But I mean, if you've saved up, you know, let's say you saved up 50k, and you're like, man, I'm ready to get me my first good ring. Hey, look at that. Why is that different than the other one? I have no idea. I really don't know how their system works here all that well with pricing. This is a badass ring. Healing and veterinary, focus, night sight, swing speed increase, lower mana costs, and physical resist 14%. 50k. Not 41 million, 50k. So yeah, just be sure to take a look at everything that is available out there. You can reach me on their Discord. I'm under Shadow of Death or Gymnastic Goldfish. Let's see, another animated ring. Yeah, that's adding great stats to everything. Swing speed increase, damage increase, defense increase. 50k. Not 41 million. So yeah, be careful with what you spend your money on. Always go through and just make sure that you're not getting jacked, because it sounds like some people might try to jack you. Major artifact. A disco, but you know, stamina increase, mana increase, lower mana, and that's a lower reagent cost, 20%. So that's a huge reagent cost lowering. I mean, yeah, for 25k. So I mean, you might be able to find some great rings and some great gear just going through this. And it, like I said, it's just as easy as clicking on your char and going down to vendor search. So I think that's going to do it for this one. But I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and make some follow-up videos over the next few days, going deep diving into Razor Enhanced. And if you're not familiar with what Razor Enhanced is, it's this. It's going to go over the different settings that you can put in there, the different scripting you can put in there, the different agents and toolbars. I don't really get into the agents, but the toolbars are real nice. And of course, you're going to go into hotkey skills, and you can do quite a few different things in here, actually. To see, you know, kind of where you're stay. But I'll show you how to get the scripts going, where to go to get just a plethora of scripts to download. That way you could just upload them into here and then use them. And you know, just some basics over the different builds that I've seen and the ones that I feel like are going to be really relevant for a new player coming in with, you know, absolutely zero capital to start with. And then obviously if you're a returning UO player and you've played for the last, you know, since you were born, then at that point we may need to go into something a little more, you know, aggressive on that, just to keep you occupied and keep you busy. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me a comment, or please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.